Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. It's good to see you. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I've heard many things. I've heard things varying from she's an Oscar-winning and Oscar-nominated actress. She'll do a fantastic job to she's cute, I like her, but not for Lois, to what a horrible casting decision. Now you're going to hear this with any actor that's ever cast in any iconic role that people are already familiar with before the movie is cast. Sometimes when you're casting an original movie with characters no one's ever heard of, you're really not going to have that issue. The issue only comes in when it's well-known characters, such as someone playing Perry White, who isn't the normal character type that we associate with that character. Now the issue with Perry White can be a slightly larger one because it does change the character completely from what anyone has ever seen him as before. He can still be the same type of person, so it's not that big of a deal. But with a woman, with her hair being red, that seems to be the biggest issue with Amy Adams. Now, she is very cute, but we have seen her be kind of a fighter in the movie The Fighter, even though the title wasn't about her. All the women and men in that movie kind of had a toughness to them. They weren't going to take any crap from anybody, and Amy Adams' character was no different. She stood up for her man, she stood up for herself, she stood up for everyone else in the movie, and she was very tough. She definitely had an edge to her, which is necessary for a character like Lois Lane. She was also, it was an award-winning performance. It was critically applauded, and everyone loved it. So I certainly have no issue with her ability to play someone with an edge. But on the other side of the coin, she can also be very, very cute, and she's very, very pretty. Two other things that I think are highly desirable when casting a Lois Lane. Now, what I did want to mention, though, was what if on this week of Halloween we were being played a trick on? What if they were masquerading us? What if Amy Adams wasn't actually cast as Lois Lane, but we were told that she was so that they could keep something under wraps? My problem with the entertainment industry nowadays is that we can find out everything 2 days before it's released. We just go online, we find out about it, we read about it, we know everything, we've seen everything. We've seen helicopter footage, we've seen Henry Cavill getting blown around, we've seen him with torn clothing and no shirt, we've seen him with a beard. We've seen Amy Adams seemingly on location, seemingly investigating like Lois Lane might do. We've seen her kind of tracking Superman, looking for him, trying to find out what he's doing. We've seen destruction scenes in Smallville. We've seen cars everywhere. We've seen helicopters flying around. We've seen a guy with a motion capture suit on with a pole attached, apparently making him look like he's supposed to be much, much taller and larger, that is apparently going to face off with Superman. We've seen Feora. We've seen the insides of what might or might not be the Daily Planet building, and who knows when or if that will be featured. In my opinion, it's possible that the Daily Planet will have a minor role, that Clark Kent might end up there at the end of the movie, because look, it appears that this is going to be the early days of Superman's formation. He has a suit, but when he will get it is unclear. He might not step into it until the last few frames of the movie. He might not get a job at the Daily Planet till the last few frames of the movie, or not at all. He might wear glasses, he might have a secret identity, or maybe he won't. There are many, many rumors surrounding this film. One rumor I'd like to kick out there, and I would like to preface this by saying I think that I'm completely wrong, and it is highly improbable that this is what's going on, but it is possible, and anything can happen, that Amy Adams is not cast as Lois Lane, but is in fact cast as Lana Lang. And why I say this is based on some of the evidence we have seen. Now, Lana Lang has been portrayed in many different versions of the story as a romance for Clark, as a great friend for Clark, as a confidant for Clark, as the first person who knew his secret identity other than the Kents, and as someone who loved him either as a romance or as a friend enough that she might, in fact, travel around the world trying to track him down. Let's say Clark disappears at some point in the movie when he finds out about his powers, or when he finds out about trouble, or when his parents die. He goes on a trek. He decides to travel the world. He hasn't moved to Metropolis yet. He's not Clark Kent in Metropolis yet. He's Clark from the farm, and he wants to see what good his powers can do in the world, and he's traveling around. Lana, who is in love with him or loves him as the best friend ever, decides, I have to track him down. I have to find him. So she goes to this fishing village. She goes to where these helicopter accidents are happening. She goes around because she hears reports of a guy who fits Clark's description, and she knows of his powers, and she's trying to find him because she loves him. This is an extreme possibility, and I love it. If it were to happen, I would be so excited. Some people will be mad that they threw us a curveball. I will like it because I'm one of these people that are extremely disappointed by all the spoilers that we get in today's day and age. So what if in this week of Halloween, Amy Adams is masquerading only as Lois Lane, but has actually been cast as Lana Lang? And what if Lois does not appear in this movie, as a rumor was originally released that she would not be in it, and everybody was up in arms? But what if maybe she's a cameo at the very end when Clark gets his job at the Planet? And I don't know what the story is. He could get his job at the very beginning. But anything could happen, and I think that this is something interesting that I've been thinking about. So enjoy that little rumor that I just created. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, always look up at the sky.